Hello, how are you? High blood pressure usually gets even worse in the morning. Many people don't know this and make some mistakes that make the situation even worse and can put their lives at risk. I'm going to tell you here what the main mistakes are so you don't make them. This video is very important. Stay until the end, you won't want to miss it. Before we start, I want to ask you if you have high blood pressure, if you've ever been diagnosed, if you usually measure your blood pressure at home, if you have those devices to measure it at home, or if you only check it at the doctor's office or at the pharmacy. How does that work for you? When you usually measure it, what are your typical readings? What is the value that shows up for your blood pressure? Write it for me down here in the comments. And how old are you? I would love to see your comment. Remember to like the video, that's really important to me. Not just for this video, but it shows YouTube that you support the content, that you trust my channel, and that's very important to me. Our blood pressure tends to be higher first thing in the morning, and many people don't know that. We have what's called a natural morning blood pressure surge, a spike that happens because of the rise in hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. This increase helps wake up our body so we can start our day with energy and alertness, preparing us to handle all the tasks we have ahead. But this increase in these hormones causes a physiological hypertensive peak. For those who already have high blood pressure, this can be very dangerous. And if you already have other habits that can further increase your blood pressure, it can even put your life at risk. Let's talk about what you shouldn't do in the morning so you don't make the situation worse. The first thing is to forget, stop taking, skip, or change the dose of your blood pressure medication on your own. I know this might sound absurd, but some people do it. There are people who say things like, my blood pressure has been fine, I haven't had any symptoms for a long time, I don't have headaches, I don't have blurred vision, I'm not feeling weird, so I'm going to stop taking this blood pressure medication. I'm taking too many medicines, I don't want to take blood pressure medication anymore. Or sometimes the person checks their blood pressure, and that day it's perfect. It's 120 over 80, or 110 over 70, and they say, I don't need blood pressure medication anymore, it's already good. They don't take the medication that day, then the next day they wake up, their blood pressure is 140 over 100, and they think, I'll take the medication. And they keep changing it, one day they take it, the next day they don't. Never do that. Blood pressure medication is not something for you to change, it's not for you to take whenever you want, on whichever day you want, or at whatever dose you want. It's very important that you follow your doctor's instructions and take everything exactly as prescribed, even when your blood pressure is good. Blood pressure medication is meant to be taken continuously. You shouldn't change this on your own, as it can be very dangerous for you. Stopping or changing your blood pressure medication can drastically increase the risk of a stroke or heart attack, especially in the morning, when we already experience that morning blood pressure surge I explained to you. The second mistake, which unfortunately is also very common, is consuming foods that are very high in sodium, very salty foods at breakfast. A lot of people have the habit of eating very salty cheese. People say, oh, but I eat white cheese. But when you actually look at that white cheese, it's loaded with salt. Or you grab a small cheese bread, or worse, you rush out to work and on the way, pick up a fried snack, maybe a cheese and ham pastry because you didn't have time for a real meal, and then you end up eating something processed or overly industrialized. There are people who are really busy, but we can prepare some things and bring them from home. You can already have some foods ready, some meals prepared the night before so you don't get caught off guard in the morning. Not to mention processed meats, salami, ham, bacon. Be careful with cheeses, like I told you. Breads with a lot of salt. Sometimes 2 types of sliced bread have almost double the amount of sodium. So it's important for you to learn how to read food labels so you don't get fooled. I have a video here explaining how to read labels. And if you want to learn more about this, so this video doesn't get too long, I'll leave this other video here in the card for you to learn more about it. Of course, we also have to talk about the habit that some people have, which is overdoing it with coffee in the morning or even starting the day with those energy drinks. They look like soda, but they're actually energy drinks. There is an immediate impact on your blood pressure. Caffeine is a stimulant that can cause spikes in blood pressure for some people, especially when you consume it in large amounts or on an empty stomach, because it is absorbed very quickly and enhances the natural increase in blood pressure that we experience in the morning. So if you already have high blood pressure and tend to have higher pressure in the morning, it's best to control your coffee intake in the morning. And if your doctor or nutritionist has already advised you not to drink coffee in the morning, remember that there are some teas you can substitute that don't contain caffeine, such as chamomile tea, for example, fennel tea, or even barley, which is very similar in taste to coffee and can be a good alternative. Another very important mistake is not measuring your blood pressure if you've been advised to do so, or measuring it incorrectly. I have an entire video explaining how to measure your blood pressure correctly, but in an easy way. Ideally, you should use the device that measures on your arm, never on your wrist, and always keep your arm supported at the level of your torso at heart height. Also, make sure the little tube that carries the airflow is unobstructed. Don't press it against yourself or anything like that. And before taking the measurement, at least 30 minutes beforehand, don't exercise. Make sure to empty your bladder, right? Don't hold in your urge to urinate, as that can raise your blood pressure. Don't smoke, and don't consume alcoholic beverages. So taking these precautions is important. For example, while measuring your blood pressure, you shouldn't talk, sing, be on the phone, or cross your legs. There are several things that you sometimes do wrong when measuring your blood pressure, which can give you an incorrect reading, either higher or lower, and that ends up affecting your control. So, if you want more details about this, I'll leave another video down here to help you. Another very common mistake people make in the morning is not drinking water. We wake up more dehydrated, right? It's been 8-10 hours without drinking water, depending on when you stopped drinking water so you wouldn't have to get up to pee during the night. This has a very significant impact on cardiovascular health because dehydration, which is common after sleep, can affect our fluid and electrolyte balance and even the viscosity of our blood, impacting blood pressure and overall cardiovascular health. So ideally, even before breakfast, you should start your day by drinking 1 or 2 glasses of water, depending on your needs, to avoid becoming dehydrated and to improve blood flow in a more physiological way. Also, be careful not to ignore warning symptoms. For example, if you wake up and everything seems normal, but then you start feeling dizzy, have double vision, blurred vision, headache, or pain in the back of your neck, this could be a sign of high blood pressure or a sign that something is out of balance. It's important that you check your blood pressure and possibly even go to the emergency room, depending on the blood pressure readings shown on your device. So don't underestimate these signs. Don't say things like, "Oh, I just slept badly, that's all, I'm just stressed." If you already have a diagnosis of high blood pressure, these signs could be your body's way of asking for help, so it's worth checking your blood pressure again to see how it is. Don't underestimate this. I also have to mention this, avoid smoking when you wake up. I know that for people who are addicted to nicotine, to cigarettes, a lot of times there are people who wake up and the first thing they do, even before brushing their teeth, is smoke. This is very complicated because nicotine causes an immediate vasoconstriction of the blood vessels, raising blood pressure. And smoking first thing in the morning increases this cardiovascular risk, further amplifying that morning blood pressure surge. So if you smoke, avoid smoking in the first hour of the day, and why not try to quit smoking altogether? It will be very important for your cardiovascular health as well. Last but not least, be careful with the type of physical activity you do in the morning and with the intensity of that activity. Ideally, if you don't exercise regularly, you should measure your blood pressure before working out to check how it is. If it's above 160 over 100, it's best not to exercise. Wait for it to drop below 140 over 90 and then do a more moderate physical activity like walking or light swimming. Ideally, you should really avoid very intense activities. A lighter or moderate activity will be more suitable for you. Always remember, if you have any cardiovascular issues, to get clearance from your cardiologist before doing any physical activity, and preferably have a physical education professional prescribe the right exercise for your specific case. This can be very important for you. Tell me if you've made any of these mistakes and what you're going to change in your daily routine. I would love to read your comment. If you know someone who needs these tips, this video is really important. Share it with someone you care about. Let's spread this chain of good. And if you haven't liked it yet, like it now. It will really help me out. See you next time. Bye.